After 4 years starting at left tackle, Jason Fox has graduated. It's now up to a talented group of freshmen to help plug the holes in Miami's offensive line. But this year, spring practice is a little different for 6 football players. They've traded in their helmets and shoulder pads for track suits here at Cobb Stadium. The Miami women's tennis team dropped a pair of matches at the ITA Indoor Championships last month. But behind senior Laura Valverdue, the Canes are off to a strong start in ACC play. Throughout his career, Jim Morris has prided himself on pitching and defense. The One Hurricane sophomore is out to show fans here at the Light that a little power can help too. Miami's 34-16 win over Duke allowed the Canes to stay in the top 25 and carry momentum through the regular season finale at South Florida. But for Miami's senior class, this game meant something more. It was the last time they took the field wearing the orange and green here at Landshark Stadium. Miami held Duke to just 3 points in the second half. It was a defensive effort spearheaded by Daryl Sharpton. The senior middle linebacker led Miami with 12 total tackles and iced the game with this pick 6 in the fourth quarter. Next year, the Canes will miss his 91 tackles and veteran presence, but Sharpton is confident that Miami's underclassmen will pick up the slack.
You know, we're going to have Colin, Sean Spence, Ray Buchanan, Arthur Brown, all those guys. So, I mean, all those guys are really, really good players. So I'm very excited for what they're going to do next year.
On the offensive side, Jimmy Graham dropped the first pass thrown his way, but hauled in the next 5 for a total of 73 yards. And after 4 years as a fan-favorite power forward, Graham was the only Cane to celebrate his second senior day.
It felt kind of weird, you know. I mean, I told Coach that it feels weird because I felt like I just got here, you know, and but I've enjoyed every minute of it.
Jason Fox has started at left tackle for the past 4 years, but other seniors have had to change positions to find their niche.
Tavares Johnson playing cornerback, now he's a tight end. You got Trump, who played guard last year, now he's a center.
Miami's senior class endured a coaching change and a losing season. But with the bowl game upcoming, they can complete the program's first 10-win year since 2003 and lay a foundation for the future. From Landshark Stadium, I'm Xander Keene, UMTV. Ja'Cory Harris had thrown a total of 5 interceptions in Miami's last 3 games leading up to Saturday's trip to UCF. But against the Knights, the sophomore quarterback delivered a consistent performance. He completed all but 6 of his throws and didn't turn the ball over. He is just 8 starts into his college career, but in that short time, his receivers have come to expect excellence.
After a drive, he'll come back and be like, you know, the safety playing deep, so kind of look for the back shoulder throw. I mean, Ja'Cory is Ja'Cory, you know, and he's a football player, and he knows football, and he's just leading us right.
Sophomore LeRon Byrd played a big role against UCF. He reeled in a 17-yard catch on Miami's first play from scrimmage and led all Cane receivers with 85 yards.
I mean, it always feels good, but as long as we get the W, that's the most important thing. You know, it could have been the vice versa. It could have been 2 catches for 20 yards. As long as we win, that's the main thing. I'm just happy that I could have contributed.
Miami's offensive execution was not perfect as UCF defenders sacked Harris 6 times. But whenever the offense faltered, the Hurricane defense stepped up. At one point, UCF took over on Miami's 2-yard line, but came away with no points. Sean Spence led the way for Miami's D. The sophomore linebacker set the tone with 7 tackles and a pair of sacks. Despite that standout performance, Spence was quick to credit the play of Miami's D-line.
My defensive line, you know, allowing me to run free. Coach Lovett for calling the right plays, you know, and just my defensive line, man. You know, they've been keeping the offensive linemen off of me.
Miami held UCF to just 53 net rushing yards. The Canes will need to build on that this week as C.J. Spiller and the Clemson Tigers come to South Florida. From Orlando, I'm Xander Keene, UMTV.
Welcome to Sports Desk alongside Xander Keene. I'm Joey Held, and Xander, March brings with it a lot. Spring, the NCAA tournament, start of baseball season.
It's also rivalry week here in Coral Gables as the Canes battle in-state opponents in 3 sports. And speaking of baseball, let's start on the diamond. The UM baseball team took its first trip outside Coral Gables this week and came away with a 15-2 win over USF. Freshman Stephen Ewing earned the win in his collegiate debut as he struck out 6 batters in 6 1/3 innings. The Canes then traveled to Jupiter for an exhibition against the Florida Marlins. Hanley Ramirez blasted a 3-run homer in the first inning as the Marlins won 19-3. Now the Canes are back on campus gearing up for a weekend showdown with the Florida Gators. UF is 5-1 on the year and is ranked as high as number 5 in the country. For an in-depth preview of the series, let's head out to the Light for the inside pitch.